arts, entertainment and lifestyle. ChaKra TV. It never ends.
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful, glorious, sunny afternoon, live and direct from Colombo with a very special person in front of me, or at least to the side of me. This is Dr. Divit Chauhan. As you might have recalled, I shared some videos on my page with regards to what he does and the fact that he's coming to Sri Lanka, and now he's here in the country to do private consultations for anyone that's interested in Vedic astrology. Now, Doctor, welcome. Firstly, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us what is Vedic astrology?
See, Vedic astrology is a science of planets. Every planet has its impact on Earth.
Right.
Every event, what is happening on the Earth, every thing happening to an individual.
Right.
It all related with planets.
Right.
The movement of planets.
Okay.
So, Vedic astrology is a science for making our life more smooth, more healthy and wealthy.
Right.
If we are following the rules of astrology,
Right.
then we can make up our life more smooth.
Okay, so basically at the time of birth, you obviously know the time you were born. Based on that, you can find out where the planets are in the different houses of an individual, correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, this is an ancient science. How old is Vedic astrology?
See, Vedic astrology is 1,000 years,
More than 1,000.
more than 1,000 years back, and in Vedic astrology, if a child took birth, then what is the placement of the different planets are there in its chart?
Right.
It affects his life all over his life.
His life or
Yeah.
her life, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, can you basically expound on what you just said, if you will? So when you're born, you have, you know, your time, and then the planets are all in a certain area in your house, as they call it. We don't need to get into the details of what those are, but it would be good for the viewers to understand how this works, because there's a lot of people in Sri Lanka that believe in astrology at the same time, because of the things that people that don't know astrology have done to them or told them fake stuff. They're not interested anymore. Misconceptions, you know. What can you tell us about not the misconception, but about the actual science?
As you are aware of this thing, that 12 sunshine are there.
Okay.
So these 12 things are like Aries to Pisces.
Okay.
So these are
The
12
zodiac signs.
Yeah, zodiac signs.
Okay.
These are 12 areas of sky.
Right.
See, just to evaluate which planet is placed at which place, we have divided this universe part in 12 areas.
Okay.
So just to analyze that at the time of birth, where the Saturn will be there,
Right.
where the Mars will be there, where
Right.
the Moon is there, and what will be the impact on the person's life.
Right.
So just to analyze this, there are different 12 areas. So when we go into depth in someone's chart, we analyze if the Mars will be sitting in this area of the sky,
Right.
that will be having this much impact on this person.
Right. And the accuracy of that is how much in your opinion? 99%?
100%.
100%.
100%. And on the basis of that, if the date of birth, time and place is exact, then all the events happening to one person can be easily predicted. And that is for sure, that is 100% accurate. For suppose, if for an example,
Right.
if some planet like Jupiter,
Okay.
Jupiter is sitting in 7th or 8th house of a person,
Okay.
then he will never get rid of, if Jupiter is not of some favorable houses,
Right.
and it belongs to the there is called ownership of the house.
Okay.
If some good ownership is not having with Jupiter and it is sitting on 7th or 8th house, that means the person never get rid of the digestion problem.
Wow.
Same if Mercury planet is weak or sitting somewhere in wrong position in the chart, the person will have the communication problem.
Right.
The child will start speaking late.
Wow.
And secondly, in later year also he will have the challenges with skin problems. skin will be sensitive of that person if Mercury planet is weak. So every planet has its impact on person's life, which can be seen very easily.
Right.
And there are lots of remedies to get rid of that problem.
That was my next question. So remedies, when you find out that somebody has a certain planet in their chart, you can do things to make the situation better for that person, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like
how does that work?
see, there is two planets which are called Rahu and Ketu.
Okay.
And there is no English terminology for that.
Okay.
And in that case, if Rahu is placed somewhere in a place in a chart called 8th house, if it is sitting here and the period of Rahu starts, in that case what happens? The person will be going to different doctors and he will not be able to get the actual problem inside, and he will not, no medicine will work for him. Then what he can do? In that case, if he will go to an astrologer and astrologer tell him that this is happening because of this planet and this challenges you are facing, that you are not able to judge your problem, your health issue.
Right.
So in that case, you will have to do the Rahu remedy.
Right.
And it is very effective.
Right.
When he will do the Rahu remedies, he will certainly after a few days he will start improving.
Right.
And the doctor will also be able to catch the problem.
So this is like what we need to understand is Vedic astrology, and what the doctor does is he researches very deeply the different aspects of Vedic astrology. That's what you do, right?
Yes.
And you've been doing it for what, 15 or 16 years now, and you also won the Astrologer of the Year award for 2022. Now, I did ask you on the first meeting you and I had how that happened and how you got shortlisted. Maybe you can tell us, because again, there are so many Sri Lankans that don't know what you are capable of doing, and our objective is to let those people understand you better and maybe sit with you for consultation, because it's not just, this is not palmistry, this is not like, you know, future predictions. It's not that. It's actual research that you can tell by looking at certain, you know, charts, and that is what doctor has, you know, excelled in. So maybe you can expound a little on that front for us.
I am more into research part from last 16-17 years.
Okay.
So because going into research part more,
Right.
My research was selected for best research in Vedic astrology and remedies in 2022, and I am lucky for that.
Yeah.
And based on the study, that research part only, I have been awarded for best astrologer of the year 2022.
Right.
The main thing is that if there are lots of astrologers and there are different thoughts of which different astrologers are following.
Right.
The thing is that if you are if you are on right track,
Right.
if you are on Vedic astrology, which is written by our Rishi Munis,
Right.
and there is no mixing by experience-based studies,
Right.
then that is 100% result-oriented study.
Wow.
And as deep you go on the basis of your research,
Right.
on the basis of your more and more study on Vedic part,
Right.
you will be more close to improving the one person's life.
Right.
If someone is coming to us, that is our responsibility, that you are not giving him a rough
Wrong,
idea,
yeah.
and you just on the basis of idea, if you are telling some remedies that may be helpful or may not be, but he has spent time, money and everything.
Yes.
But that is where it's your responsibility occurs, that if you are an astrologer, in that case, first your research part should be strong.
Right.
You should be as deep in the study that you can analyze the problem of the person opening the chart.
Right.
And you have to go go into depth, and you have to understand what is the challenge without asking from the person.
Right.
First you analyze the chart.
Right.
And after analyzing the chart, you ask the question, if this is happening to the person or not, then you will get to know that you are on the right path.
Right.
And if you are on the right path, then for sure, for 100% you will give him resolution of his problem.
Okay. Understood.
That may be because of his personal life, maybe married life, maybe professional life.
Right.
health issues,
Right.
everything.
Now this is interesting because you cover what exactly now. If somebody decides, one of our viewers decides to sit down with you in that 40-minute consultation, what can our viewers expect? Like face to face with you, what do you actually go through? Which areas do you cover? Wealth, health. What else do you cover?
Cover in 40 minutes is sufficient because for analyzing a chart it takes hardly 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
And rest of the time is resolving queries of the person.
Right.
The main purpose should be giving remedy to the person that he get rid of the problem he is facing.
Right.
For what he is coming to us.
Right.
And for going to that much deep,
Right.
it takes hardly 15-20 minutes.
15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
So now if for example I sat down with you, let's say tomorrow or when we're consulting next week, not next week, in the next 2 days, if I was to come and ask you, okay doctor, in the next 2 years will I experience a massive gain of wealth, would you be able to tell us yes or no?
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
For sure. And I can also suggest someone.
Yeah.
If for suppose if some period is not as good as for someone,
Right.
and he is expecting something big,
Right.
he is planning for something big,
Right.
then I can suggest some remedy to him for by which he can cover up that gap and he can achieve his goal.
Wow. So listen guys, these kinds of opportunities, they don't come by easy, especially when we have someone like this coming to our backyard. When he's here, we might as well make the most of it. So if you want to get a private consultation done with Dr. Divit Chauhan, you can Google him, find out exactly what his pedigree is, then get in touch with us. You can leave a message below on the comment section, or you can get in touch with me. Just remember, we have 2 days. Dr. Divit will be here for 2 days, and that is tomorrow and the day after that. So if you want to consult, and also on the 3rd, mind you. So it's the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of April. If by any chance you want to get a private consultation done, get in touch with us, because this is the real deal. Okay, I don't know how else to tell you. You don't have to trust me, but when you come and experience this, you will understand why I'm actually a part of this, because I found out stuff about not just myself but my kids, and it was mind-boggling, and it was very inspiring to say the least. So humans are a lot grander and more mysterious and magical than anyone would ever think. It's just that we have been made to forget. The system has made us forget how powerful we are.
Yes.
And guys like you remind us what we have inside. So we're so thankful that you're here in Sri Lanka, doctor, and we look forward to maybe having more interviews with you, looking into the future. And you did mention something very interesting that caught my ear. You said that you are now in the process of doing a book, a medical astrology book. What is that, and tell us.
Yeah, actually I'm doing a research on medical part of astrology, that is what planet gives what kind of illness if it is not in favor of us in our chart.
Okay.
In that case, what illness we can face in which year. So if we can get rid of that problem on the basis of planets only, rather than going to medicines and all, and what if we can avoid that situation also, that for suppose if our Venus planet is weak and we are going to have some problem like diabetes or something like that, and we work on previously if we can prevent that problem, in that case why we have to go for cure
and take medicine, right?
yeah. So I'm doing research on this part, and I'm writing a book on this, that is medical astrology, and that is more for students of astrologers, because the language in these such books it's not very friendly to a raw person who is not aware of this science.
Right.
So I'm writing this book for the students of astrologers.
Wow.
And for sure I'm expecting good results.
You need to give us a signed copy for our viewers, one copy for our viewers. If there's anyone interested in this book that doctor will be releasing soon, just leave a comment and we'll make sure you get the book. Does that sound good? Thank you,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, once again for joining us today on this special edition of, well, I suppose it's Kross Talk because that's pretty much what it is. And if by any chance you are interested in getting a consultation with the good doctor, you can call this number 075 700 9492 or simply leave a comment or inbox us and we'll be more than happy to get you in touch. We have give or take maybe 5 or 6 slots left, so it's basically getting filled up quick. Don't waste any time. Get in touch with us on the number I gave you just now and find out what the future holds for you, because you know when he tells you certain things that only you know that there's something going on. So experience it. And one more thing that I forgot to ask the doctor, which I will ask the doctor, is healing. He has the ability to heal certain issues, and we will next be asking him some questions about that, because that too is something very unique and a very mysterious area for many of us. So expect that. That's coming up next. So I was talking about energy healing, and I wanted to ask the doctor about how it's done. So if you will, doc, what is energy healing?
Energy healing is like we have 7 chakras in our body. So energy healing is basically if someone is feeling some problem, like he is in depression or some mental issues or something, some illness which he is going through from long period and not getting relief from medicines. In that case, we use this science. This is also a Vedic science. This is called energy healing. Later it is used in different countries in different names like Reiki and everything. But the basic science behind this is energy healing only. There is a process of energy healing where we do aura cleaning of a person. We have an aura around us, and if it is disturbed, we face certain issues in our life. So there are few process. Like I follow 6 process before doing energy healing. First I clean the aura through 6 different process, and after cleaning the aura of a person, then we work on the energy healing that is balancing chakras. So immediately after doing one session, a person can feel the change.
Really?
Yeah. And sometimes it is as much effective if someone is in what we can say depression or some mental issues. Sometimes it happens that even in one session only we get rid of the problem.
Wow. So like migraines and phlegm, like runny nose or just congestion, can you fix that with healing?
Yeah, sometimes it's very effective in this thing. See, there is a small part of aura cleaning which is in India, in tradition it is called jhada. So for that the peacock feather is used. And through that peacock feather, if a child is having fever, immediately get rid of that problem.
Wow.
So this is a one step. So you can imagine that 6 steps has to be taken before energy healing. Then we go into energy healing. For sure it will be effective.
Wow. Again, mind blown. Don't waste the opportunity. Make sure you're there. Have a private consultation with Dr. Divit Chauhan, Astrologer of the Year for 2022, live and direct from sunny Sri Lanka. This is your one and only opportunity to be with him and get a proper idea of what the future holds for you and what you can do to make it, to ensure that it goes in your best interest and your best, laid plan, if you will. So that's pretty much it for today on this edition of Kross Talk, and we're again very thankful to the good doctor for spending this. The slots that are available are limited, like beyond belief. There's about 5 slots left, and get in touch with us on that number I gave you. Just a quick reminder in case you missed the number. It's 075 700 9492. Call that number up today and get your reservations on. Thank you, and thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you.